Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to season number 15. Round number 1, we are back for the summer. We have got one heck of a season coming our way. All eyes will go to the gantry light. Green flag drops and we are racing. That's going to be a very, very good stop.
He's going to edge him.
We've got two generations of Ferraris going side by side.
Goes to the outside. Very late break to the outside.
What is going to happen?
What is happening?
Trying to hold on to it. Free abreast for a square.
Alexis looking racy.
He's gonna hold him tight. Oh my god.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Well. If it isn't, I guess SRA, or the audience, the lovely audience of SRA. Welcome back to Division 2, Season 16 here in SRA. We have the GT3 Team Series, of course. Round 6. My goodness, round 6, Donovan. It's been over a month and a half, 2 months of racing, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we haven't, had a single week off. Usually I feel like by now in the season we have a week off, but it's just been one after another, which yeah, I mean, it's been great. Lots of action, been an exciting season, so.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Absolutely. Yeah, we got absolutely a hectic amount of races in the first half of the season, of course, with starting with Silverstone, going to Coda, Valencia, Zandvoort, just now past Mountain Panorama, and we're on to arguably probably the hardest race of the season. We got a wet Suzuka. Suzuka's already challenging as it is, with the first sector being so tricky. You got to be, keeping up the min speeds through the S's. You got Dunlop, you got the Degners heading into Sector 2, and we'll obviously talk about all of that. But before that, yeah, I do want to mention that, this race has a chance of being dry, albeit very low, but this is our token wet race of the season. It's going to be one of 3 variable races this season in terms of just, not dry hot lapping conditions, right? Obviously, we have Brands Hatch the following race, but we do have a week break in between. So yeah, obviously I'm going to miss you guys in the chat, but in the meantime, we have no time for sadness, right? We're on to wet Suzuka. The sadness will be the rain on the track, the tears of the drivers falling down as they're driving through the circuit. It's a pretty challenging one in the dry, like I said, but even in the wet, I mean, it's a whole different animal. Turn 1 already super tricky. You gotta get the braking right, especially on race fuel. You gotta make sure that you're not gonna lock the tires. The traction with the tires on the wet is gonna be very difficult to find. So honestly, easier said than done. It's gonna be very encouraging for the drivers to take it easier through there, 100%. And turn 2, I mean, it's kind of like there with turn 1. You just gotta let the car coast in. Don't be too eager to get on throttle, to feather the brake here and there. But turn 3 through 6, I mean, probably, I don't know, maybe the trickiest part on the track with the wet, maybe the Dagners, maybe the spoon curve in turn 13 and 14, maybe the hairpin. Honestly, the entire track is difficult. Casio Triangle is also difficult. We'll get to that, of course. But turn 7, very, very tricky corner. It's uphill. Got to get the power down. Make sure you're not engaging too much of the traction control because the car will bog down no matter what car you're driving. However, cars like the Honda are very, very, very good in the wet. So, I don't think we have any Hondas in D2, which I guess good for the rest of the grid, right, Donovan? But, it's going to be definitely challenging for these drivers up there. Heading into turn 8 and 9, we have the 2 Degners, Degner 1, Degner 2. Very easy to get track limits on exit of Degner 2. That is turn 9. There's a bit of green AstroTurf on exit. So you want to just, make sure you get the traction down, not too much sliding on exit. As long as you're doing that, you'll be fine. Hairpin is going to be the site of a lot of accidents, I imagine, on lap 1. I hope, at least not many. As a steward, I personally don't want to see that. As the entertainment of the night, I imagine that a lot of people do want to see that. So I guess we have some differing opinions here. But turn 12 is normally on the dry track, more or less a straight. It's all flat out. On the wet track, however, some drivers might have trouble, following each other, especially in the dirty air. And there's going to be a lot of, a lack of visibility with the rain, of course, the spray kicking up from the diffusers of each car. So obviously the ideal situation will have to be P1, as it usually is. And then Spoon, turn 13 and 14. Very, very difficult. It's going to be, you know, some cars can be on the curb, they can straddle it, they could brake on it. Some cars absolutely cannot. And it's very important to get a good exit heading into 130R. Also a very famous corner, one where we saw Fernando Alonso overtake Michael Schumacher around the outside. Obviously knowing that Michael had kids at home, Fernando went around the outside at 130R and took the lead. And then, yeah, heading into Casio Triangle, turn 16, turn 17. Super tricky in the wet conditions. The curbs are very unfriendly, so make sure that the drivers are on it. And heading into turn 18, very difficult traction zone. If you can get it down, all she wrote. So the lap is going to be tricky. It's going to be slow, but it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers get on. Donovan, take us through the driver standings.
Yeah, it's definitely shaping up a bit. We got the leader, Paul Hartman. He had his first win last week at Bathurst, and we didn't get him in for an interview, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a fantastic win from him. Brian Anderson is very close behind, and then a little bit behind him, Amos Movo. He did not have a very fortunate race. He was leading, and then ran into some difficulties with the grass. But yeah, so he's fallen down a little bit, so he's going to be looking at, you know, getting back up there. Philippinas Mueller following behind a bit, and Selena Boonstra, Thomas Olhausen, Jason Allen, Matthew Higgs, Kyle Barber, and Mason Moffitt rounding out our top 10 there. Going over to the silver drivers, Dick Zipperburn Jr., he had a very good race last. I think he was he our silver winner last week? I think he was.
Yeah, he was.
Also didn't get him in for a interview, but yeah, he has a pretty healthy lead over Ethan Marvin and Kevin Nichols right now. He's been looking pretty quick here too, so he's going to be one to watch out for the silver championship. And yeah, so going over to the team standings, with a a decent lead. We got the Lambo duo of Brian Anderson and Matthew Higgs, which is, yeah, champion and Madhouse, a bit of a duo there from different conglomerates, followed by the Nissan duo of Philippinas Mueller and Thomas Olhausen. They've been having a pretty strong season as well, so I mean, obviously with the points. And then the champion Ferraris of Sean Williams and Paul Hartman, and they seem to be tied on points with Jason Allen and Mike Gino. And then following behind there, Riley Greer and Amos Movo in P5, and then Selena Boonstra, Jess Osborne, Mason Moffitt and Rowdy Burns, Taylor Johnson and Sam Sereno. There were, they didn't join in until, what was it, race 3 or 4?
It was race 3.
Yeah, race three. So pretty good showing from them. I mean, obviously we do have 2 drop races, but with how that works with the team championship, that's still a pretty impressive amount of points so far. So we could definitely see them climb up a bit more. But yeah, it's a little bit more spread out in the top 3, but then it gets, pretty close for a couple, positions there. So yeah, we'll definitely see some interesting things, going on with that with the team championship.
Absolutely, Donovan. And yeah, obviously the races they're dwindling down in terms of, how many we have left. We're about to start qualifying here. Of course, the silvers are on track first. It's not looking like it's going to get too much wetter, or rather, it's not even going to decrease in rain or increase in rain.
Yeah.
Which means, the gold drivers will have a better track as per usual. So again, 3 weeks in a row, we're expecting the gold drivers to be, of course, faster than the silvers, just based on the track conditions. But, one thing to note is that the rain is the biggest equalizer, right? So especially, outside of GT3 racing, even in Formula 1, some drivers just tend to excel in the rain, right? So we have the likes of If you remember the race in Interlagos in not only just 2024 from last year with Max going from P17 to P1, but even in 2016 when he was in his first year at Red Bull, he had that insane overtake on Nico Rosberg at turn 3. So yeah, the rain really brings out the drivers in each driver, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone can traverse these conditions.
What about I mean, this was a slightly different situation, but K-Mag's pole in a Haas a couple years back.
I would argue that actually applies a bit more to like the Zandvoort race we had, where we had the variable conditions, right?
True.
I remember in D1, we had that one variable race. I think the first variable race where we had Silver's
Barcelona
actually on pole.
Yeah.
Insane to think about, really.
I remember that.
Incredible stuff. Yeah. So another thing to note for these drivers in qualifying, obviously previous tracks where, we do have the varying conditions where the conditions will improve. We see Ethan Marvin paving the way for the rest of the Silver drivers on a pretty wet track, it seems. We can hop on board here to see. Yeah, there's the track is obviously wet. I don't think it's as wet as it was, for example, in the practice session that the D2 drivers were in about 30 minutes ago, at least. But that being said, it's not increasing rain, right? So it's not going to get, this is as wet as it's going to be with the cars on track, the rubber being put down, the the dry line is going to, or rather a dry line of sorts is going to appear here and there. But yeah, you see a couple of drivers going out late, Riley Greer being the last of them, of course. So yeah, let's see how Ethan Marvin can traverse these conditions.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I mean, with the rain not increasing, the drivers going over the line, towards the end are going to get the fastest track. So I wonder if Riley is applying any data from the data man himself, Amos Movo, when is the best time to go out. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I mean, so Ethan Marvin already, everyone's got their own gaps. You don't want to get the spray from the driver behind Ethan Marvin electing to go first. And, from experience racing here yesterday, I'm guessing that the times will probably be closer to the 208s, 209s. But we also saw that the Lexus, of course, unfortunately, our resident Lexus driver, Arc in D1, of course, was teammates with Doug, disconnected from the race on the very last lap. It was very sad news.
Terrible. Last sector, too.
Ooh, I do want to note, so for those interested in Pick D's, of course, led by our very own Adam Santana, also manning the commentary booth in D1, a couple of us picked Douglas Mitchell to win this race, and if I had to do a quick gander through the pit lane on race control, I don't see a D2 Gold Lexus driver in the pits there. So there goes my points for D2.
Oh man! Wow, I'm terribly sorry, man. Wow.
Of course you're very sorry.
As somebody who did not pick Doug for this race.
Well, actually, let's talk about it, right? So obviously these conditions are pretty treacherous. They're not what we're used to. Who did you pick to win? Who do you think's gonna win?
Actually, I went on races like this. I tend to go a little bit more, or I have two schools of thought. Either somebody who I'm extremely confident in, or it's more of a kind of oddball pick. So I actually, looking at Zipperburn Jr., I think he's going to be pretty fast. I don't think he's going to be in it necessarily for a win, but I think he's gonna be faster than we expect. So I took a bit of a gamble on Zipperburn.
Well, let's see if it pays off. Ethan Marvin, of course, crossing the line first, as he did come out first, is with a 209.2. Kevin Nichols about 6.5 tenths behind. Nick Zipperburn Jr., there you go, the guy that you were just talking about, right behind Ethan Marvin. We were talking about how the Lexus was quite strong in the preliminary races this week. And yeah, I mean, Zipperburn Jr. saying, I don't care that it's fast, I'm fast too. He's competing, of course, for that Silver 2 championship, or Division 2 Silver championship. Right behind him, Pat Cockcroft. Unfortunately, this is going to be Pat's last race of the season. He's got some elbow surgery, so quick shout out for Pat. Everyone in the chat, give him a round of applause for having such a competitive season, such a fun season to obviously watch. He had that one D2 Silver win at a Zandvoort, so Yeah, honestly, Pat's another one to look at, right? So he has obviously the experience of driving around other cars on track in these conditions. And, you know, it's going to be a race of attrition for sure, right? So it's going to be interesting to see where he finishes.
Yeah, for sure. I think the I mean, I think the Porsches are going to be relatively strong here. You know, we don't have any Hondas. And I think
interesting.
Ethan Marvin going for
Nathan Marvin there. I actually do want to go and check on that. We are obviously in a live qualifying session, but it's always interesting to see when a car goes off, especially at the hairpin. So
yeah, I wonder if it's just going deep, touching grass. I don't know.
Oh, the brake's getting a little bit squirrely there for Ethan Marvin, and it's too much for him to handle. Does a pirouette, it seems, and quick to get off the racing line for the driver behind us. Kevin Nichols rapidly approaching the Lexus there. That was too close for comfort there, Donovan.
Yeah, it looked like that spinning around was a bit of the Lexus PC not working when you're going, you know, too slow, and because my guess is he was just trying to get on throttle to keep it going, and then there was no TC. So
yep, and traction
just
control,
deep on the brakes.
one of the very nice things to have, of course, in ACC, especially in these conditions.
Yes.
Although counterintuitively, the traction control is quite invasive in these conditions, but it does help you keep it on track, which at the end of the day is what these drivers want. Kevin Nichols going to the top of the 2.8, but Pat Cockcroft improving about 2.5 tenths. Very marginal improvement. Not going to move him up any positions, but still improving his time closer to Ethan Marvin. In the meantime, Dick Zipburn Jr. improving his time past Ethan Marvin to a looks like a 209.8, so or 208.9. I apologize. Yeah, I'm trying to juggle my view between obviously what's happening on screen at the moment and also what race control is telling me. So it's telling me that Kevin Nichols is still improving, and he's only 40 seconds in his lap. So let's stay on board with him. Obviously going through Dunlop curve, approaching the two Degners. Very difficult section of the track here, as we mentioned. So let's see if he can gain some time. And he does lose a little bit of time through the first one. Going through the second one, does get the power down, but a very loose on exit there. Does lose all of his delta, and it goes back to even there for Kevin Nichols.
Yeah, similar thing seemed to have happened to Zipperburn as well. He was well up on his time. Somebody who's really well up on his time for now is Ethan Marvin. Coming through up to Spoon Corner. This is a hard turn for the Lexus in the dry, and so I imagine it is not easy. I can't recall. I'm sure I've driven the Lexus here in the wet at some point, but I can't really recall how difficult the Lexus is to drive here. I might have only driven the Mustang here in the wet, now that I think about it. I think this track, I mean, this is such a good, I mean, this is my main test track when it comes to like testing out cars and such, because I feel like there's just like every kind of corner basically. Yeah, I feel like, you know, while, yeah, we'll have, you know, strong cars, I think the Lexuses and the Porsches will be strong here today. I think, you know, just depending on where you are at track, you know, different cars will have different strengths, as we see Ethan Marvin go to the top with a 208.6.
His teammate right behind him also improving pretty massively, up about almost a second on his time. He just jumps up to P3 there. He had deltas for P1 at a certain point, but I think on exit from the triangle, that would be turn 17, he did lose a little bit. I think it was about 2 tenths actually. So there goes exactly what his delta is to Ethan Marvin at the moment as we approach. This is going to be the last lap for these drivers as the gold drivers are getting ready to line up with about 30 seconds left. 30 minutes is not quite the correct amount of time that these drivers have to qualify, but
it'd be a long quality session.
Yeah, I think we would probably see the rain dissipate at that point with how much the water the rain tires are kicking off the racing line. But yeah, Raf Cab obviously quick. We did see him pretty close to Ethan Marvin on his delta until the very last 2 corners, but Dick Zipburn Jr. also improving 6 tenths up on his time. Meanwhile, Ethan Marvin is not improving, and Dick Zipburn Jr. is right in front of him on track, obviously going through the hairpin at this point, right behind Ethan Marvin, it seems. So he's going to get that nice slipstream. Ethan Marvin pulling off, not keen to give that slipstream to his competing driver at the moment for the pole position for the silver class. And yeah, he is up on his time. He is way up on his time. Let's see if he can, you know, keep it under control going through Spoon. Very tricky corner here, but the Porsche is probably a little bit nicer through the min speed, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was a point where he was, I mean, I say he was, he's about 7/10 up on his time. And he lost about a tenth in the hairpin compared to his fastest lap, but I don't know if that's going to matter too much. He's 7/10 up on his time going through 130R.
You just got to keep it on track at this point. Going through Casio Triangle, very tricky. Get the car over to the right side, over to the left side, through the chicane. Get the power down. Don't stay too much on the curb. And he does gain almost I think it was half a tenth, almost a tenth actually. It's about 7.5 tenths up. This is going to be way clear of provisional pole for the silver class. This sets him at a 208.1. So yeah, not only is the track getting faster, but Dick Zipper and Jr. on it absolutely. This lap sets the pace for the gold drivers, as we see Justin McKechnie leading the gold drivers without the livery being loaded. That's a little weird. I think he did switch it because Armentario Academy is a bit of a new team, so I don't know what happened there. But I do want to point out where are they? Where's Just Osborne? What? Why is the livery not working?
Why does it not work?
I literally checked. Nah.
I saw that. I literally saw his livery right before the session started. That is incredible.
Wait, this is working? This is working. No, I loaded the right livery, dude.
No. Did Jess load the wrong livery?
Jess is not going to be happy. That's all I know. Okay. I literally confirmed. I went into the session as a spectator before this. And it was there. It was literally there.
Oh my goodness.
I guess one way to tell. So we see Madhouse Lunar Motorsports, and yeah, so I think just loaded the wrong livery, because we see Madhouse huge faffing fans, right? And then just loaded the Lunar Motorsports livery. So I think this is the wrong livery.
I think he loaded the wrong livery, and I think that's what I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, he has to check up there pretty heavily there. Oh my god.
That was
oh, he's just completely stopped on track. He wants to get a gap to Polly, of course, but yeah, of course, guys, we want to do this before we approach the final chicane. This is a huge yellow flag. I wonder if there was actually an incident that happened there.
Yeah, there's quite the checkup. Yeah, that might just be cars going real slow. That's definitely
nothing to fear.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, maybe drivers are, you know, really trying to maximize the track evolution, so maybe they're trying to get, you know, their extra lap. I don't know. Usually you try to make the gap before the last turn, for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, we're of course on board here with Kyle Barber, sandwiched in between two drivers. Of course, a McLaren behind. That is the McLaren of Taylor Johnston in the 452, and right in front of him is car 46. That is Mike Gino. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm also curious to see how Jason Allen and Mike Gino approach this. You know, I haven't seen Jason practicing too much this week. Maybe the same with the likes of Gino, but those two obviously are pretty quick on their own right. As we see Bailey here to support. Yeah. He's saying Mike Gino pole. I hope that happens. It's going to be something that Mike is going to be able to hold over Jason's head for the rest of the season.
I know, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Jason would be too happy about that, but yeah.
I think it'd be funny to see, no?
Yeah, it would be. It'd be great. I mean, their team name is My Teammate Sucks, and we all know Mike didn't name that.
But, yeah, we all know Mike wouldn't name it that, right? I mean...
No.
Let's see how he traverses through his first flying lap here. Pretty close to the exit there on the apex. Mike Gino pretty stable. The McLaren is known to have a few slip-ups, of course, on torque, on exited corners on the lower gear. Mike Gino looking pretty stable, though. Let's see how he approaches 130R. Very difficult in these wet conditions, but McLaren stable as ever. We see Matt Artem yellow flag at the hairpin there. Car 415 returns to garage. We're seeing Mike Gino go through Casio Triangle. You gotta get the power down. Does traverse it pretty well. Nothing too crazy there in terms of cars slipping under the rears there. Power down all the way to the line. Let's see where this puts Mike Gino. Across the line, and it's going to be into P9. So yeah, track evolving pretty fast. To see Justin McKechnie already going to P2. So yeah, we didn't talk about Justin actually. We did that brief moment. We saw that he loaded the wrong livery, of course. But yeah, Justin obviously in the 488, not the regular Ferrari that you normally see with the 296, but this car's also, you know, quick in its own right. I don't know how it is in the wet. Maybe Dan Crank can tell me, that can attest to that. But yeah, one car that is going to be enjoying these conditions is the Lambo. We see Jack Ross going immediately to the top with a lap that is only 22 thousandths quicker than Dixon Burton Jr. Philip Mueller quickly eating my own words there as he goes to the top. Only 30 thousandths above Jack Ross. So it's, you know, D2 has been known for very close qualifying, and I mean, it's happened once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that Nissan is not my favorite car in the wet. Personally, you know, all the problems I have with it in the dry are just kind of you know, turned up to 11 in the wet. But I also, you know, have a slight. It's funny. I have such a love-hate relationship with that car. So we did see Jack Krause. He was our Zandvoort winner in the mixed conditions. So I wonder if he, you know, I don't know if he likes, you know, wet conditions or not, but it seemed like he's pretty quick here in the wet so far. So I mean, we might see another competitive session from Jack Krause here.
Yeah, one thing to note, of course, the other Lamborghini in the top 11 at the moment, Brian Anderson holding that purple sector 1. So yeah, the Lamborghini is definitely a car to look out for here. We can see it's already strong on the overall lap here. Of course, Jack Ross being in that P2 spot, Paulie Hartman occupying the P4 spot. Jess Osborne, the liveryless man in P6, currently beating out his teammate Selena Boonstra, who is, I believe, in P29 at the moment. Yeah, so Selena Boonstra invisible at the hairpin, of course, camera lagging behind. Yeah, we see her livery, so confirming that works at least, right? But yeah, we're gonna see where Selena ends up on her first long lap. Mason Moffitt going to P4, Paulie Hartman, of course, being P5, demoted by Mason Moffitt, and it's still very close. Mike Gino P6 at the moment, improving ever so slightly, but now he's he's falling to the clutches of the spray of the car ahead. Sam Serino, who is currently sitting in P21, 1.5 seconds off the pace. So yeah, very differing times here. Obviously, the two cars are the same, but it really comes down to driver skill here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, this is we've mentioned it.
Oh, look at that! Amos over to the pole.
Wow.
And
yeah.
It's such a small margin again.
Look how close it is. Yeah, it's incredible. And that time from I knew Zipperburn Jr. You know, was going to be relatively close. Even with all this track evolution, that time is still holding up pretty well. Still less than a 10th away from the pole time. But yeah, look how close it is up there.
One driver that is looking to make it a little bit less close is Paulie Hartman, going through Spoon Curve, exiting Spoon right now, and he's up about 5.5 tenths, which is obviously going to shoot him way past the current pole sitter, which is Amos Mova, who's also his title rival for the moment. Brian Anderson also up there. We can see him right ahead of him, and he's keen to improve his lap time. He's about 6.5 tenths up, which should also put him into that provisional pole position. So yeah, let's see how these drivers, you know, traverse. We had Paulie Hartman loses a little bit of time on 130R there. Gets through Casio Triangle pretty easy, but loses a lot of time on exit from Casio Triangle. This is going to obviously improve his time here, but Brian Anderson, Brian also lost a lot of time there. Paulie Hartman goes to the top with a 208.007. So close between the top 5, top 6, top 7, top 8, really. 2 tenths from 1 to 8. Oh my God, this would get better than this.
Yeah, that's incredible, especially for a wet, you know, session. I feel like so often the wet sessions tend to spread things out during qualifying a little bit. But yeah, no, these drivers are still staying super close together on that timing board. Yeah, it's crazy. 2 tenths for 8 positions.
don't count out another driver entering that 1,000th territory. We have Thomas Olhausen here improving a lot, going through 130R. That Nissan looking mighty as ever, going through the chicane. Nissan's actually known for eating those curbs as it goes over the chicane. He improved a lot. He is up 6.5 tenths up. This is going to be pole, at least provisional pole. Amos Mova, these two drivers are going to have one more chance. Oh my god, Thomas Olhausen to the top of the 207.7. That is clearing away the best lap so far.
Yeah, that's a great showing there from Thomas Olhausen. There's definitely still some green on the leaderboard. His teammate is up a little bit as well to start through sector 1. It looks like he goes a bit wide there though through Dunlop and loses out all that time. But I mean, he's well up in there in there too, and they're looking for good points, as they're second in the championship, the Nissan duo of Philip Mueller and Thomas Olhausen. So that they would love to lock in some good positions here for this qualifying.
The clock has hit 0 seconds left, and we see already a couple of drivers returning to garage. So Brian is not able to improve his current position in front P7. Justin McKechnie with the pretty strong performance, putting his Ferrari 488 at P8. Mason Moffitt right behind him in P9. Mike Gino still out there on track. Jess Osborne beating out his teammate at the moment, Selena Boonstra. It was super consistent for the last couple of races, finishing P5. It seems every single race she's always up there, but Thomas Olhausen still out on track and validating his lap, so there's not going to be an improvement in him. But Paulie Hartman also returning to garage, so the only couple of drivers left that can really improve on their positions are going to be those couple in the top 5.
Yeah, Jack Krause is out there, but he's pretty much exactly even on his time, and he just crosses the line and does not improve his position. He was up on his time about 1.5 tenths, which would be pretty big, but he lost it in the Casio Triangle, I believe. Amos Movo crossing the line.
That's going to be it for improvements. Wow, Thomas Olhausen really commanding the qualifying session today. After such close qualifying sessions this entire season, Thomas Olhausen says, it's my time, and takes pole position at Suzuka. So, yeah, Japanese car, Japanese track. I think it was meant to be, no?
Yeah, it fits. It definitely fits. Godzilla and home turf. Absolutely.
In the meantime, before these drivers are ready to go out on track, we're going to play a message from our sponsors that keep us alive in these colder temps as we are approaching the tail end, not only of the season but of the year. Of course, next week we have Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone will enjoy that. We'll be right back.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT 3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and Fairy World collectibles. magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
Welcome back, my dear friends and my viewers at home. We're about to kick off the sessions. We'll start in about 10 seconds as we see Thomas Olhausen taking his main pole position of the season. Paulie Hartman in P2, Amos Movo, his title contender in P3. And while we're on the topic of coming back, I guess I just returned from, I had a small food break. Please don't fire me. I'm eating on the job. But I had the most depressing chicken tender from Chick-fil-A I have ever seen.
Really? Wow.
It was like
It's in
paper
the
thin
name.
and it was small. Like,
What in the world?
like listen. It had, it was an adequately sized chicken tender.
It's perfectly average.
It was fine, okay? It tasted good. At least it tasted good. Well,
Anyway,
yeah, this is how you know you're in a D2 stream. We're talking about adequately sized chicken tenders.
oh man.
All right, not to steal Thomas Olhausen's thunder, but Thomas Olhausen, like I said, with his maiden pole position, with Paulie and Amos right behind him. Philip Mueller, his teammate in P4, so yeah, these two looking to score some big points as they're challenging for that team championship. Jack Krause in P5, you know, getting that form back after his struggle week last week at Bathurst. Dixon Byrne Jr. with, I think it's probably his best qualifying in D2 ever.
Oh yeah. I think
This is his
so.
first time in
Yeah.
D2 as well, so yeah, this is a getting a slight nosebleed here for, I imagine, the 393 Porsche as he sits in P6 right ahead of Brian Anderson in P7. Justin McKechnie with his first top 10 of the season in P8. Mason Moffitt and Mike Gino, two M names. I guess you have MG and M&M. We got M&M and SRA. Look at this, Donovan.
True.
Jess Osborne back close to the top 15. We have him at P11. Matt Hicks in P12. Ethan Marvin at P13. I was expecting Ethan Marvin to be a little bit higher up, but I guess he didn't do as much practice this week. I remember him, yeah, he didn't have the greatest of races last week. We're not really going to talk about what happened, but, you know, I can understand, given what happened, how he felt. But Kevin Nichols in P14, pretty strong showing from him. Jason Allen behind his teammate this week, a couple spots back in P15. So look at that car number matching the position where he is.
Yeah.
Meant to be. You know. Kyle Barber in P16. Let's go to the closer to the back of the grid. Raf Cap P17. Matt Arnhem P18 after a spin in qualifying, bringing that car where it is pretty impressive as it is. Wilder Vargas P19. Selena Boonstra in P20. Surprise P20 there, Selena, but she has reiterated before that she's not the best in the wet conditions. So honestly, we'll take what we can get. Taylor Johnson in P21, Tristan Zamora in P22, Hanzo Rigatoni P23, Max Diggs in P24, Sam Sereno in P25. The last race of the season for Pat Cockcroft in P26. Let's have a good one, boys. For Pat, let's give a quick shout out. You know, obviously elbow surgery coming out next week, so let's see how that goes. Of course, I hope it's going to be good. Speedy recovery for our boy over here in the green, Rexy. Juan Carl in P27, Justin Seckham in P28. Actually returning for this race. I haven't seen him the past couple of races, so it's nice to see a car back on the grid. Rowdy Burns P29, Bradley Greer P30. Surprised to see him this far back. He had a good race last week, so let's see if he can, you know, get the car farther up than where he is at the moment. Curtis Lee in P31 and Jacob Hart rounding out the grid in P32 in the purple Aston with insert team name here. All right, well, love it. Drivers already lining up. This has got to be one of the longest lineups of the season, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's a pretty long track. And it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to drive in the wet and follow through sector 1 on lap 1. So, yeah, hoping for a nice clean start to this race.
Don't we all, Donovan? But sometimes that's not what we get. But especially with turn 1 here, it's going to be a very tricky one. The Nissan obviously has that punch. It's an early grunt out of the acceleration into slow speed, but he's got two Ferraris next to him. Of course, title contenders. So these two drivers are going to be keen to get a good start here. It's completely quiet, completely silent, but we're going to see the drivers line up here as it's going to go green any moment now, and we see the lights are still red. There it goes green. Thomas Olhausen, let's see how good of a start he gets. And these two drivers, oh my god, the championship rivals are side by side. Philip Mueller has to pull over to make sure he doesn't complicate in a mess there. The two drivers are side by side. Still, Amos Movo edging out for the P2 position. He's keen to get those points back that he lost from Paulie Hartman last week. And Thomas Olhausen clear for P1, clear for P2. Amos Movo is Paulie Hartman in P3. And Philip Mueller in P4. There's a little bit of movement. Dixon Byrne Jr. getting a spot on Brian Aronson there. So he's up into still P6 at the moment, but the side by side, Justin McKechnie, Brian Aronson side by side, they're back through the S's here. My goodness, what a respectable drive we have here between these two drivers. Clean start thus far, right?
Yeah, we've almost made it through Sector 1. Don't want to curse it. We're commentators blessing this this race. But nice and clean from these drivers. I mean, it looked like there was a lot of side-by-side through Sector 1, which is very difficult to do, especially in the wet. And yeah, everybody's staying nice and clean and pointed the right direction. We do have a yellow. I spoke too soon. It was out of Sector 1. Oh, no.
No, not Pat. Anybody but Pat.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine driving with one arm, by the way, at this track in these conditions?
Yeah, in the wet, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Pat, obviously with the non-functioning elbow, drives with one. Oh, I think he clipped Max Diggs there. Riley Greer collects him, and that's going to be Pat's race pretty much over. But, Pat's a champion. He's going to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. That just means a longer pit stop for more beer sips. So, that's definitely unfortunate to see. But going back to the front here, no big gaps really have formed yet up at the front. The a little bit of a gap on that from Amos to Thomas Olhausen there.
Now, Kevin Nichols lost out a few positions there, going from obviously starting P14, going back to P16. Jason Allen, Kyle Barber making up positions and going over just the general movers on lap 1. We had Amos Movo make that decisive pass for that second position on the podium, which is going to prove very critical for his championship fight. We had Jason Allen and Kyle Barber moving up, obviously past Kevin Nichols. We had a few drivers, Jacob Hart, move up from last place on the grid to P28. And yeah, pretty clean stuff so far. Wilder Vargas lost 3 spots at the start of the race to Selena Taylor Johnston and Tristan Zamora. So yeah, honestly, this is a cleaner start of D2, but we did see the last week that we also did have a clean start at Mount Bathurst. Yep. Yeah. Mount Panorama. I mean, I guess you could call it Mount Bathurst, no? Right?
Yeah. Actually, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, it's in
yeah. Well, yeah, we did see at Mount Panorama that all the action kicked off towards, I guess, like 4 or 5 laps in, right? So let's see what happens.
I think it's lap 3 when it really started to when there was some chaos that started to ensue. But yeah, right now everybody's single file. This is, I noticed in some of the races yesterday that this could be, a bit of a just a line forming for a while. It's hard to make a pass without any sort of mistakes. So if these drivers are keeping on it, then it's tough to get any pass done. Ooh, Amos looked like he had a little bit of oversteer there in 130R, and that's gonna lose him out to Thomas Olhausen a little bit and make him look behind a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like he took a little bit too much grass on entry there, and the car just got a little bit sideways. Of course, it's better to keep the car stable and lose a little bit of time than lose the time altogether and have an accident where, especially for someone like Amos, after having such a difficult race last week, starting from pole and leading the race for so long and obviously ending in a travesty, it's not what you need at this point of the season. You obviously, you have the pace. You want to keep the car up there where you're outscoring your championship rival. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be he's going to. I mean, of course, he's going to be wanting to get the win if possible. But I think his biggest priority is just to stay ahead of Paul at the moment.
And Paulie's not making it easy for him. We saw, of course, we're talking about Amos having a little bit of a mistake, and now there's about a 1.1 second gap, and now it came down to about 9/10. So, Amos isn't the only one struggling, it seems, and he does go a little bit wide there. Paulie's going to have a slight run, but it's going to be so difficult to overtake here. I don't think the move is quite on for Paulie. And just like for Amos, Paulie just wants to keep the car on track at this point in time. Let the drivers ahead and or behind make the mistakes on their own, right? So it's going to be a race of attrition, like we talked about at the start of the commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the hairpin is not a easy place to go for a pass in the wet. I feel like that is only a move that really ever works in the dry, unless again there's some big mistake. Cars tend to just kind of break in the middle, so you can't really do anything, and it's really hard to go side by side. I see quite often cars dive in the dry, but I don't think that's happening in the wet without catastrophe, at least.
Yep, and of course it's going to get harder as you're following other cars. The spray being not the best of friends, especially in these fast corners. It's very difficult to spot the apex or the braking point that you usually spot, and even those get changed in the wet. So it's a lot of driving with instinct, right? That's why we talked about how, oh, this Riley Greer has gone off ahead. He's looked like he's pit, and then it just goes back to the garage, and I think he's Alta Ford. I want to see if I can catch that on replay. If he even does appear. Oh my god, it's not even going to be up here. He's already gone.
Yeah,
well, that's unfortunate.
I think because if he left the server, we might not be able to...
we're taking a quick look at what happened, I guess, on the main straight while this replay is going, and now it's back, right? So that's good. But Pat is in for his pit stop, repairing the damage that he got on lap 1. Obviously very catastrophic for a race of this pedigree, but of course we move on. It's a long race ahead. Anything can happen, so gotta appreciate the resilience of Pat Cockcroft there.
Absolutely. We did see Jack Krause going off the line a little bit on the main straight. I don't know if that was a defensive move for Zipperburn Jr. there, or if he was cooling his tires, but either it's interesting. This is definitely, because it's a wet track, getting your tire pressures is definitely important, and you can mess it up, especially if you didn't practice on multiple different condition levels, because it's not necessarily a guaranteed amount of wetness. So it's definitely making sure that what tire pressures it's going to be, and sometimes you could get that wrong, and then you have to fix it in the pit stop.
Let's say we got on board with Jess Osborne here. It looks like Matt Higgs didn't have the best exit from Spoon, but the Porsche not being able to gain absolutely anything on the back straight there heading into the 130R, but keen to get close to Matt Higgs here as we approach through Casio Triangle. You can see Riley in the chat. Yeah, it's a very unfortunate race for Riley there. He ended up hitting to fix his broken suspension and car damage that he had from that lap 1 incident with Pat Cockcroft, and ended up getting a stop-go 30 entering the pits. So not what you want to see from the other half of Busch Racing.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, that's definitely a bummer. It is so easy, especially with damage and in the wet, to get a stop-go 30 here. Going into the pits, it's definitely a pit stop that entices you to go pretty quick and gain as much time as you can, but it's a pretty heavy braking zone for that pit line. So if you're really trying to maximize it, it's really easy to get a penalty there.
Yep, we saw Philip Mueller taking the purple lap from his teammate, who's currently leading the race. So the Nissans are looking absolutely rapid at the moment, setting a purple lap of a 208.585, and he got very close there to Paulie Hartman. He's very keen to get pushed the Ferrari through the hairpin there. Of course, the Ferrari is going to be bogging down a little bit, you know, trying to fight for that traction on exit from the slow corners, but the Nissan just has that grunt that we talked about that's able to escape from any car around it so quickly. And it looks like Pauly's pulled a bit of a blinder here and lost a lot of time to Amos Movo with that mistake.
Yeah, he definitely has. Amos's last lap was pretty quick. It was invalid, but it was. Oh
my God! Don't tell me! Don't tell me they're gonna go side by side. Okay, they almost did, and that's gonna leave Jack Krause to pick up the scraps from Philip Mueller. Obviously going defensive here, trying to hold that inside line, but Jack Krause is having none of it. Sending it around the outside and gets the car right where he needed to be. I'm surprised the Lambo didn't blow up on the curbs, and he gets the position past Philip Mueller. And if I'm Philip here, I think, you know, I'm thinking about the team championship. Obviously, Jack Krause, not the Lambo driver that you're fighting for that team championship, but it's going to be Brian Anderson and Matt Higgs. As long as you're ahead of them, you're scoring good points. So, of course, this is fighting for position here. We love to see the battling between the drivers, but Philip, you got to keep it ahead of the other rivals, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, losing, going side by side through a 130R, you know, is awesome. It looks great, but it also loses a lot of time and could leave you extremely vulnerable. But I mean, imagine if it was work. He was, you know, trying his Fernando Alonso impression there, going around the outside of 130R.
Yeah, we did talk about that, you know. Oh my God, more side-by-side going through Dunlop here.
Outside.
The Lexus having the traction, but also loses out to Jess Osborne. Still side-by-side here with Jason Allen and Ethan Marvin. The Lexus not having the best of downforce, but the inside line being very critical here. Let's see if these drivers go side-by-side through the Degners. Jason Allen going around the outside, getting the nose of his car ahead of Ethan Marvin. He's going to fall clutches to Kyle Barber in P15, so Ethan Marvin losing a couple of spots there to not only Jess Osborne, but to Jason Allen there. So Jason moving up another position from the start. So pretty strong race thus far from the Scooby-Doo driver.
Yeah, that's another case of where you just lose so much time around the outside, and yeah, Ethan Marvin definitely losing out to there, and a very opportunistic move from Jason Allen and from Jack Krause. I mean, I just want to kind of point out that pass that Jack Krause.
Yeah, I mean, if I could go back like a minute and a half, I would watch the move again.
Yeah, because that was awesome, especially in the Lambo. I feel like that, you know, going around the outside like that and over the curbs like that, I imagine that's not tricky in these conditions. Or that's not easy in these conditions.
Oh, speaking of not easy, Amos Movo getting the car a little bit loose there through Casio Triangle. Yeah. He's pulled an even larger gap on Pauly Hartman and going through these laps here, the starting laps, of course, for about 6 laps down. Thomas Olhausen crossing the line here. Still leading the race. Amos Movo not too far behind, about a second behind. But we see a couple of trains forming. You know, we see, you know, obviously P1 and P2 fighting it out for that toss step on the podium. We see Pauly Hartman defending from it. Seems to be almost 6 drivers. I almost said the thing. I'm trying to refrain from saying the meme, but there's a couple of trains, and it's yeah. I mean, what is Dan Crane saying in chat?
I'm not
sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of this train, Brian Anderson keen to get past Dick Zipper Jr. here. Of course, Zip is fighting for that silver win as per usual. It seems to be on a week-to-week basis, but Brian has got a team championship to consider, so any position that's going to give him more points compared to the P1 and P5 cars occupying the spots at the moment is going to give, you know, them an even better chance of securing anything. So Brian Anderson very keen to get past that Porsche.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine that's a tough car to get past the Porsche. I feel like you want, you know, something that's super fast down the straights. You know, something like the Lexus or I mean the Mustang would be probably pretty good. Even with the restrictors.
You know, we got Ethan Marvin on the back of Jason Allen, taking the inside line, seemingly to find his braking marker, which, I mean, a lot of drivers are going to be electing to do, just because of how hard it is to spot, especially going to the spoon curve. You don't want to miss the braking point, because then car go bye-bye into the curb.
Yeah,
right? So
then death.
Yep. Then death. Imminent death.
See how much he gains here on. I mean,
Oh,
he
Amos
gains-
lost some time. Hold on. No. Oh, I just went. Hold up. Anyway.
Yeah, he was definitely gaining a lot there, but yeah, like we found out with Philip, it's really hard and not necessarily beneficial to go side by side.
Jason
there.
Allen goes into the
Jason
pits.
Allen hits. Wow.
Oh.
Pretty early pit stop. That is interesting from Jason
Oh,
Allen.
whoa.
Oh, Amos. What happened?
Oh my god, I clicked on Pauly because I saw he got fastest lap by, I mean, not by much, it's about 30 thousandths of a second from Thomas Olhausen. But we just saw Amos into the grass. What happened there?
Yeah.
We saw him obviously getting loose, so he did lose a little bit of time on this lap to Thomas Olhausen, so the car just not where it wants to be. Gets on the curb, and that curb is very wet. A lot of cars are not getting on that curb at all. It tries to save it a little bit, but goes on the grass. Of course, not on the wall, which is very ideal for him for his title championship, situation, but he does lose the position to Pauly Hartman, and now Pauly is in P2.
Yeah, and Jack Krause is right on Amos, looking to get more positions. Yeah, like I said, Jack Krause is definitely seeming to be pretty strong. Yeah, look how close these drivers are. I mean, all the way down to who was that? Justin back there. They're quite tight here.
Yeah, it's very close, and even with the spray, these guys are keeping each other honest. And let me tell you, it's very difficult to drive with the spray because you got to worry not just about the car behind you, but you also got to worry about, you gotta keep the car on the road. It's very difficult to spot, the apexes, the braking markers, and the car in general is just a hassle to handle, right? Yeah, it's difficult. So it's very impressive what these drivers are able to do about 17 minutes into this race.
I just gotta point out Diego's K-pop Demon Hunters kill Pauly.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, Diego sending out the shooters again, at least trying to. It didn't work last time. Pauly winning Bathurst, but yeah.
We can see a little bit of banter between Diego and Mr. Sir in the chat. He said, "Shut your mouth." Love it.
Oh, man.
If we are anything here at SRA, apart from a bunch of sim races, we're a community. So, obviously, communities talk like this to each other, right?
Oh, hey, I wanna point out Brian Anderson in the pits. Going for along with his teammate Matt Higgs.
Interesting.
So both going for an undercut strategy.
Yeah, and that of course gives Justin McKechnie and Dick Zipper Jr. a little bit of breathing room, as we did see. Oh, look at this side by side, Philip Mueller next to. I think that's Jack Krause, and Jack Krause does get the edge into the corner. Of course, the inside being the superior line, you can kind of dictate where you want to go. But yeah, it's very close. In the meantime, while everyone is going to be still concertinaing through the lap, I do have a little bit of surprise segment from our very own Division 1 driver, Flyer Queso. I'm going to drag him into the VC, as he is the race strategy engineer, I guess, of Pauly Hartman. Mr. Queso, welcome to the booth. I guess this is your invitation to, what was it, your idea was F1 team principal impression?
Correct. Yes, thanks for having me on the stream today, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really great
welcome.
to be here. Yeah. Pauly's having a heck of a race out there, isn't he?
Yeah, so we're seeing your boy here, of course, Amos Mo having that mistake in turn 1. I mean, talk about that opening lap, because we saw Pauly go side by side with Amos having that inside for turn 2, and it kind of just like at that point it was over for them.
Yeah, correct. So after a pretty solid quali, getting P2 is almost unfortunate, I would say, on this track, because having that outside line, especially in the rain, it really doesn't give you much of a chance to make any kind of move. You're risking a major incident for yourself. So Pauly was being a little bit cautious. Amos really had a great line, great move, gained the position. But we just kept our heads in there, and it's working out now. As I'm watching the stream here, Pauly's maintaining the position. Champion Motorsports, doing our thing.
Absolutely. And are you feeling under threat at all from the cars behind? We saw Brian Anderson and Matt Higgs obviously pitting already, electing for that undercut. What is your game plan going into this last 66% of the race?
Oh, we're keeping an eye on them, but I don't think we're too concerned. We're just going to kind of feel out the weather, let Paulie keep setting his laps. Probably pit sometime soon, but not stressing it. We're going to let the other teams do their thing. We're going to do our thing. It's going to be good.
All right, well, cool as a cucumber, Fire Case. So I imagine Paulie's in there.
Right.
Obviously, very ecstatic that Amos was able to make that mistake, but yeah, sitting where exactly Paulie wants to be. So thank you for joining us, Queso. Anything you want to leave us off with before we send you back?
Shout out to my boys at Champion Motorsports.
Yep, shameless plug. There it is. Yep.
And Madhouse.
All right. Well, appreciate you having you here. We'll let you go back to your nightly job on Wednesdays, which is engineering.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. It's the fun night for me. Much less stress.
Yeah.
Paulie's got it. He's the Iceman.
Yeah, he got it. All right, we'll see you later. We're hoping to speak to Paulie, of course. If he stays on the podium, we'll have a few words from him. So thanks for joining us.
We're looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, that was
Paulie,
a sneak. Oh, wow! It gets a little bit squirrely there.
Drift from...
As soon as as Fire Case leaves the booth, Paulie is getting a little bit squirrely. Amos Mo getting right to the back of his championship contender in just a split second. I imagine Case was probably watching it on stream right now. He's like, "Oh my goodness, what has gone on? I leave for 2 minutes, and this is what happens."
Yeah, fortunately, no position changing for Paulie. I find it ironic that Panzer Rigatoni with a drive-through. I imagine that track because he did not go into the pits. Oh man, that's a bummer. But I find it ironic that Queso saying Paulie's the Iceman while he's Fire Queso.
Some fire. It's Fire Queso, bro. Come on, like.
Yeah. Well, we got ice and fire. The duo between driver and engineer.
Kimi Räikkönen and whoever was his engineer. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was also the scene of where Kimi. Who did he pass? Was it Fisichella into turn one?
Oh,
you remember that one move in 2005?
Yeah.
I think it was Fisichella, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. I don't remember who that was.
It was a Renault, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I think it was too. If anyone, I know, honestly, Mr. Sir probably remembers that. So if he's in the chat, can you let me know on who that was? Anyway, yeah, going back to the race, Dick Burn Jr. still holding that P6. Philip Mueller losing out to Jack Krause at a certain point when he was fighting with Amos Mova. And Amos Mova made another mistake, it seems, because he used to be very close to Paulie, and now he's got to defend from Jack Krause. Amos all over the place this race.
Yeah, Jack Krause right on him again, and yeah, as we've been talking, he can't do anything there, or at least he shouldn't do anything there.
Phil going very wide there. That's going to be a track cut.
Yeah.
And look at that. We were talking about the drivers who have already pit. Brian Anderson holding that fastest lap in P23 with a 207.9. So that's considerably faster than what the drivers are doing out there right now. It's almost a second faster than what it's actually a second and a half faster than what Thomas Olhausen did last lap. So look at the drivers that, he was competing with. Brian Anderson was obviously fighting with McKechnie, with Zipburn Jr., with Mueller before the pit stops. And at this rate, the undercut's going to work in their favor. So might be time to consider pitting for a lot of these guys. We see Mason Moffitt peeling into the pits, looking at those times and thinking, yeah, I think it's time for me to go.
Yep. Yeah, because Brian is on fire right now. I mean, he's putting down some good laps, so...
Sir confirmed it. It was Fisichella. Okay, I'm glad I got that right. Thank God. Yeah, so... If we see another one of those moves this race, I'll be jumping out of my seat, honestly. But
especially if it's a last lap around the outside too. I mean, that's, it's one thing to do that in an F1 car where you've got, insane amounts
Heaps of
downforce.
downforce. I think he had, the newer tires. So, oh my God, Amos Movo going wide. Amos, dude, you gotta lock in, bro.
It looks
oh
like
my
he's going
God,
to
Jack
hold
Cross is
off
pushing
Jack
him
Cross
up
for
through
now.
spoon 1. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. So close. Yeah.
He's still struggling. He's going on the curb.
Yeah, he's going deep.
Oh, Jack Cross sees an opening for just a moment, but it closes ever so slightly, and Jack Cross thinks better of it. But he's going to have a nice run down the back straight here. The Lambo is not going to do much going up to 130R. It's not the fastest on a straight line. It's going to be running a high wing setup. But man, Amos has got to be thinking about a pit stop. Those tires are not going to be, very, very, very nice for the rest of the laps. He goes wide again. Did he just go wide a little bit? I think he did. Yeah.
I don't know if
and he does go into the
struggling
pits.
with the tires. He's going to go into the pits, and Jack Cross is going to follow him into the pits. So
That looked a little bit fast. I don't know. Don't.
It's always stressful with that pit entry.
Just to check in on Jason now, he has already pit, and he is sitting behind Max Diggs, so...
And he had, I wanted to point out, he had a pretty slow pit. It was 1 minute and 21 seconds in the
That's very slow.
pit lane.
That is very, very slow.
I don't know what happened. I don't think he had damage, but, I mean, that's way slow. I feel like that's way slow for even just missing your box.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he got some damage that he forgot to, uncheck to repair. Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. I am curious to see where Brian Anderson comes out. We saw Amos Movo and Jack Rouse already pitting, but Brian Anderson has been on these fresh tires for a couple of laps, and the other drivers that haven't pitted, didn't elect to pit for a while, were struggling. And Brian Anderson's coming through the main straight now. We see Amos Movo coming out of the pits, so he did gain a considerable amount of time. Is it going to be close between these drivers? Obviously, Brian Anderson's going to have that overspeed, and Amos is right there. Around the outside, it just edges out Amos Movo. That's going to be provisional P3 at the moment, right?
Yeah, it is. It is provisional P3 for now. Brian Anderson, on a bit of a tear. I remember he went in from P7. I actually remember, this is going back a few seasons, when I was in D2 with Brian Anderson and he was leading a race. I went into the pits from P7 and was able to undercut everybody ahead up into P1. And I pit basically at the same time that Brian pit. A bit of different track, different conditions, different race, obviously, but that's just definitely kind of a funny moment there. But yeah, Brian Anderson, I mean, he's on a tear right now.
Absolutely. And I apologize for calling it Spoon 1. I see in the chat you guys are like, nerd emoji, it's actually 200R.
Yeah. Fun fact, it's called 200R because that was, the radius of the original turn. I don't think it's the radius of the turn now. Same with 130R. Don't think that's, actual radius of the turn, but it originally was.
Well, originally, yep. Thank you for the wonderful insight, Don. We appreciate having So, I mean, background knowledge, of course, is always nice, especially in these broadcasting situations. Paulie Hartman going to the pits, so that's going to be key to see where he comes out relative to Brian Anderson. So Brian Anderson still holding that fastest lap. His last lap was a 280, which is only a couple hundredths slower than his actual fastest lap. So he was on a tear. That lap was critical for him. So Brian Anderson and Amos Movo very close together on track, but where does that put Paulie and relative to these two? Of course, Thomas Olhausen has still not pit, and he's got to be looking at the relative, seeing that Brian Anderson did get ahead of those two drivers. Maybe where's Paulie going to filter out? He is ahead, but it's going to be the same story. Brian Anderson goes around the outside. Amos Movo also undercut. Oh my God, Amos Movo going deep on the brakes again. Oh Amos, my God.
Feel it all. Yeah, cooking it a little bit hard, making sure to stay ahead of Paulie. But, oh my gosh. Yeah, Brian Anderson now is in a net P2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's awesome from Brian going from P7 to P2. through this undercut. Now, of course, towards the end of the race, his tires might be feeling it a little bit, but I mean, if you get your pressures right and you're not graining your tires and stuff, you know, the wet tires can definitely last. It's very dependent on your driving and again your setup, but yeah, quite the undercut though from Brian.
I think Thomas Olhausen is actually going in at this point in time, so exactly at the dead even mark at about 29 minutes to go, our leader is in. But where is that going to put him relative to Brian Anderson? We did see that not only did he overtake Amos Mova, who was P3, albeit a few mistakes, but also P2, Paulie Hartman. So maybe Paulie had a slow stop. I'm curious, actually.
Yeah, let me check.
No, Amos actually had a quicker stop of the two.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I would, if I'm Thomas, I'm quivering in my boots right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean he's into the pits for sure, as is almost everybody. There's only a couple drivers who have yet to pit, or at least after this pit stop cycle finishes. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this gap is. Thomas Olhausen is moving, so this should be pretty healthy.
I mean, it might be close.
Yeah.
So there goes Ponzo Rigatoni. I mean, he is ahead of the drivers, which is nice, but he's going to have maybe about half a lap where his tires aren't in the optimal window. But Thomas Olhausen putting enough of a gap to the drivers behind him and the first phase of the race where it's not going to matter too much if the car behind is on a tear after undercutting. So Thomas Olhausen, I mean, if he doesn't make any more mistakes, I can, you know, I'm not trying to curse him, especially because he's my fantasy driver, but it's going to be a commanding race for him.
Well, and yeah, that was pretty perfectly judged from Thomas Olhausen. I wonder if he was looking at the delta, if he had any insight on where Brian was through that whole cycle. But yeah, so yeah, very well judged there from Thomas Olhausen, though.
I think you also have the help of your teammate, of course, Philip Mueller, electing for that earlier stop. Was able to.
That's true.
You know, kind of judge how the tires were. Obviously, I think I also pulled the undercut last night. I told my teammate Omar Escorcia, I said, hey man, the tires, I mean, I can feel grip again. I can feel the road. So,
yeah,
you know, it's definitely something, you know, it's nice to have a teammate in your ear talking about, you know, offset strategies. And it looks like Thomas Olhausen and Philip Mueller here are playing it to the perfect level here where they are getting maximum points. We're not quite maximum points, but exactly what they want for the team championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Amos having some pace here on the second stint.
Yeah, his tires.
Oh, he goes wide. Dude, every time I get to him.
He goes wide.
Okay, I'm gonna. Should I stay off his car? I feel like I'm just cursing him at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Oh, wow, he's really attacking the curbs there. As is Brian, though. In the Lambo, that's, I feel like pretty awfully brave. We do have the last of the drivers to make their pit stops with Wilder Vargas and Ponzo Rigatoni.
Yeah, so quick update to see where everyone is relative to where they started. Brian Anderson obviously being the biggest mover in terms of starting in 7th and not finishing quite, but putting the car in P2 at the moment with the fastest lap of the race. Very nice race for him, especially considering that for the team championship, this is basically damage limitation after not the strongest qualifying for both him and his teammate Matt Higgs. This is perfect for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's really big from the Lambo drivers.
Let's take apart. Let's take a moment and see what happened to the Aston here. It's one of the safer cars to drive, especially in the rain. It's well known to be faster in the rain, just because of its gearing. It's not the best on exit. It's pretty safe in the rain. So, I wonder what happened here. Looks like a bit of grass.
He did touch grass.
Oh, he just doesn't even turn. That's a big bonk.
That's why you don't touch grass.
Don't touch grass, kids. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were talking about team championship. Matt Higgs up into P8. Wow.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
big
going
for their
down.
championship.
They're not going down lightly.
No, absolutely not. I think they were looking at the positions for the Nissan drivers, and we're thinking, yeah, we got to do something here.
All right, the sandbags are coming out. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow
Junior
drop
right
a
behind
couple
them.
kilos.
Where's Jason Allen now? Let's see. P22. Wow, he lost a lot in that slow stop.
Yeah, that's. I wonder what happened with that stop. I mean, I didn't.
I guess we'll
see
know
him
after the race.
up a
We're not
bunch
going
of
to
damage.
interview him, but you know, unless something happens, maybe he disconnects everybody up until P22. Who knows?
I was gonna say, yeah, he does have the
Coincidence? I think not. Jason Allen wins the race in P22. Oh, every driver ahead of him disconnected.
Weird. That's so
Interesting. Okay. Bit of a quiet race for some. One of them being Dick Zipper Jr., but of course with a very loud result. Holding that P6 from the start of the race to now after the pit cycle. Kind of in a world of his own at the moment. 4.5 seconds or so back from Philip Mueller in P5, but Justin McKechnie not really challenging him for that P6 at the moment. Of course, Justin's trying to keep the car on track. Having a bit of a slower stop compared to the others around. Amos Mova with a stop of 1 minute and 3 seconds. Justin having a stop of 1 minute and 7 seconds. So a lot of varying stop times. Of course, one thing to note is that Suzuka doesn't have the greatest, pit. I guess the pit wall, right? It's not very nice to drive through. It's quite bumpy. You can very easily miss your box, as we saw with Jacob Palmieri in season 13, losing the race from the lead after missing the pit box. So, I mean, it could be a decider for the track position here at Suzuka.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go back to Zipperburn Jr. If I'm him in this position, I'm definitely just down to have a quiet race. He's a silver driver sitting in P6, well ahead of his rival in P12, and he's already got a decent lead over Ethan Marvin in the championship. Honestly, I mean, he's I think 171 points versus 144 points, and that's a pretty big gap in the silvers. I mean, if you think about the silver drivers, usually they get less point finishes, and sitting in P6, that's a pretty good amount of points there to help further that gap quite a bit. So I'm pretty sure he's happy to just have a quiet, boring race sitting in P6.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right about that. One driver who's not having a boring race is Paulie Hartman. Philip Mueller getting a side-by-side with him heading into turn 1, but it's not going to be enough. The car just having a little bit of a better exit, having the outside through turn 2 there. Paulie Hartman's able to keep that P4 position. I mean, I warned Queso about the undercut from Brian Anderson. I guess he didn't listen.
I know, yeah. yeah.
I warned him live.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna be fighting with Philip Mueller for P5, so this is definitely not what he wants for that championship contention, especially because Amos is in front of him after having so many mistakes in the first stint. Now he's got a Nissan to worry about. Not like Duck from Queso in the
Not
chat.
like Duck.
I wish I could pull that emoji up on stream and just put it over Paulie's name.
Yeah.
It'd be funny. Not like Duck. Fighting for P5 or P4 rather.
I know Philip used to have a Not Like Duck livery. I don't remember what car. I feel like that was on a Porsche. But yeah, it was a bright yellow
Porsche.
Ew.
Oh, Kevin Nichols got a drive-through.
Yeah, second drive-through.
Nah, not like Duck.
Track limits. Yeah, exactly. It comes back.
I mean, it's just such a versatile emoji, no?
It is, yeah.
You can just apply it to anything.
I'm a huge fan of it. That's
like
my most used emoji.
I mean, it could be applied to so many contexts. It's like you're coming home, you got your report card, like, hey mom, I got an A in physics, but I got an F in physical education. Not like Duck.
Yeah, not light duck.
Also, how would you get an F in phys ed, by the way? I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Hold on, look at this though. Philip Mueller getting a good exit. In the meantime, while I'm rambling, Philip Mueller getting a oh my god, Godzilla-like exit with the Nissan, just powering past the Ferrari there on the main straight, and that's going to be Philip Mueller to P4. Paulie Hartman's not keen to give that spot up easily. Oh my god.
Yeah, Philip. I mean, he was super aggressive on Paulie into the or just out of 130R, making Paulie go defensive, and then just having a killer time over the curbs in the Casio Triangle, and just fully powered down. I mean, definitely utilizing that grunt out of the turns. I mean, the Nissan is definitely known for that, and it's pretty well known for its top end on the straights as well. So Philip Mueller getting that position on.
Yeah, speaking of top end, it's actually tied with the Lexus for that speed trap at the back of this on the back straight. Is a 261 kph.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we thought the Lexus would be faster, just ever so slightly, but that Nissan, maybe it's on a lower wing setup because Thomas Olhausen is 3 kph slower on that back straight compared to his teammates. So maybe there's something in the setup, either the lower wing or just better traction from Spoon.
I wonder if all that is just if that's just a slipstream, because Olhausen hasn't had a slipstream the entire race. He's been just leading from P1.
You're right.
Yeah, Philip has had a handful to deal with. That could have been the straight that Philip went side by side in 130R.
I mean, look at the car just walk away. I think I thought those were flashers for a moment, but it's just the light's not rendering fully. But Philip Mueller getting clear of his rival on track today, Paulie Hartman. Of course, these drivers started 2 and 3 respectively, with Amos Mova taking that. Or no, it was Thomas Olhausen taking that pole position, but Amos Mova getting that P2 on lap 1, kind of recapping what has gone on so far. So Philip Mueller getting ahead of one of the drivers, at least has a purple lap. So yeah, that having that slingshot from the last corner of the last lap, getting that best lap of the race. Oh my god, very close there. Oh, we are just commentators cursing today. Wow.
I know, yeah.
I thought we wanted to commentators bless people.
We are. We're blessing people.
Oh, wow, Jack Cross
this race
lost some positions. Look at this.
Oh no, he lost a lot of positions.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Jack Cross? Let's see. Going side by side with Selena Boonster, they're taking the inside. Oh, cutting.
So you can't go there, mate.
What is going on there?
I wonder if he lost the positions at 130R, because that already is well into the below the top 10. So
yeah, he lost out to Selena and Juan Caro there. Not the best of second stints there for Jack Krause, but it's getting a good exit from Dunlop, and he's gonna. Oh no!
My goodness! Oh no!
Ah, that was a very I want to say this opportunistic move.
It was. I think he is feeling desperate to get back some positions. He had a lot of grip, it looked like, around the outside of Dunlop, but it just was too enticing for him. Yeah, that's definitely a shame. When things can go wrong, things can you could tend to make some mistakes.
Got some OBDA action here in the top 10 of D2. Yeah, look at that. We got Dig Zipper and Junior ahead of Justin McKechnie.
Hot lap for life.
Oh, he's flashing. This guy, man.
Flash master.
Yeah, I make the joke with Justin that he's got his flasher bound to his gas pedal, which
do you know what it is bound to?
I have no idea.
It's bound to his left stick, so he's a controller driver, obviously. So it's bound to his left stick, so his steering stick.
So whenever he turns the car, it's flashing.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Or is it probably when he presses the left stick, like
when
he presses it down?
In. Yeah.
Okay.
L3. Yeah.
How convenient for him.
But still, yeah, that's very convenient. So he could just, literally just. I mean, sometimes he accidentally does it by just, a tense situation.
Accidentally, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin never does anything by accident. Let's be honest.
Yeah, especially flashing, the Flash Master himself. Yeah, even fellow OBDA drivers aren't safe from Justin's flashing.
Well, let's talk about something more PG instead of the Flashmaster McKechnie over here. Of course, can be easily misinterpreted in different contexts, but yeah, going back to the fight for P1 here, Brian Anderson, obviously having the less grip on these tires at this point in time, has closed the gap up to Thomas Olhausen, which is quite surprising, I gotta say. So this Lambo has really come alive on the second stint. I think it's probably the lack of water on the racing line. I think the tires are just in a better window. In general, maybe the tires for Olhausen are a bit under pressured. I mean, there's so many factors that can go into this. So,
For sure. I mean, they pit so different. I mean, Brian Anderson pit at about 44 minutes, was it?
I
Somewhere
think
around there?
so. Maybe 43,
44
something
minutes.
like that. I mean, we can see
Yeah.
how long his stint's been going on for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's been on these tires for 27 minutes, so his tires are definitely like 13 minutes older than Thomas Olhausen. So I gotta say, if I were to guess, at least 6, maybe 7 laps older. So
Yeah, I mean that's
Gonna let that sit.
definitely a fair amount. Again, though, you know, it's kind of dependent when it's in the wet. It's definitely dependent on your drive, you know, or how you drive the car. I feel like it's a lot more dramatic in terms of. I mean, you can make those tires last for a long time if you're careful and you have the car set up right. But
Ooh.
oh,
What is this?
going
We've got
on
some
here?
contact here, maybe with Matt Artem and Ethan Marvin. I bet you that Lexus just pulled on the Audi here.
oh my gosh!
Oh
look
my
at
god. Dun
That is
dun dun
crazy.
dun. Ethan Marvin. Oh, okay, he didn't go for it. Honestly, fair enough. But he scared him
I
enough
don't
going
blame
into
him.
the
Oh yeah!
going wide. Oh, it goes for the send.
Oh wow!
Ah!
Oh, that was just too much. Yeah, so he ended up just going straight. So it looked like no contact. That was actually a
Well
looked
managed.
like nice and clean. Matt Artem very aware and elected not to turn into the turn and let Ethan just dive on through the triangle.
Oh,
Oh,
but that
man.
Audi's struggling for
Artem,
traction.
yeah,
Ethan Marvin's right
drifting.
up the inside of Dunlop. Oh wait, no!
Oh, that's it. What happened?
Oh my god! I bet you it was the Flashmaster back at work. I'm kidding.
Flashing.
Oh,
him.
he touches the curb at
he
Dunlop.
touches the
No!
curb. No,
Oh my god! Oh, Nicholas Higgs!
Oh, no. Higgs. Oh yeah, that's Higgs for the
Oh,
who was also on that undercut strategy. Oh my gosh,
Haters
that is huge.
RTGs.
The RTGs. That is devastating.
Oh
For Zipper
no!
Burn. I can't believe
Oh my god, that was a scary accident. I mean, he hit
that was
he hit the
big.
barrier very fast and did a quick pirouette. Luckily, I mean, I guess only collected one car with him, but man, that is, oh my god.
Man, that was that was bad. That I was saying, you know, he was wanting a quiet race. That's literally the exact opposite of that. That is such a bummer.
I see you multitasking in the Twitch chat as well. You know, expressing your devastation in the commentary booth as well as the Twitch chat. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people's favorite, not just for the solo win, but the overall win. Dick Zipper and Jr. crashing out there with only 12 minutes to go in the race. And I mean, you got to feel for him. That was 80% of the race done.
Yeah, that is.
And then boom, it
such a
just ends in
shame.
an instant by getting the tires onto a small piece of a puddle. Which, I mean, going back to some in real life racing, we saw, was it Lando kick up the water at a turn 2, an exit of turn 2 at Interlagos,
Yeah.
and 3 cars who followed onto that same line touched some kind of puddle or some water. It was a less grip
Yeah,
on the
he was
track and just,
Yeah, he kicked up water onto the curb, and yeah, that was crazy. 3 completely separate cars just losing it. You don't often see that in especially F1. But moving on from F1. Oh my gosh! What?
Oh my god!
Philip Mueller. I don't know if he's just trying to throw off Amos there. He keeps it nice and well turned in, but he's applying some serious pressure on Amos Movo. I mean, I think they when they saw those Lambos, they definitely were thinking that they gotta turn it up to keep these points and keep them
Exactly.
honest.
In the meantime, Claude Barber had an incident allowing Matt Higgs to go past him into P11, so Higgs didn't actually lose that much, even despite, you know, spinning out of control after the Porsche. Oh, Selena Visser getting all unsettled there, and Kyle Barber even more. The fact, wow, that was an aggressive spin there. A complete loss of traction, loss of balance from the BMW. You like it? Yeah.
He kept turned in the right way. I mean, that's better than going into the wall. But
Philip Mueller's struggling. You see that?
Yeah, a little bit of drifty.
Drifty.
That's the Godzilla way. But look at that. The slipstream though can bail you out quite a bit.
Whoa!
Was that contact?
I think it was. I want to stay on these guys because that looked very close for comfort. And Pat Cockcroft is yellow flagged on exit of 130 yard. I think that's going to be race over for him. With only 9 minutes to go, we can see car 86 yellow flagged where Rowdy Burns is passing through right now. But we're going to stay on board with Philip Mueller here, going through the S's, following obviously Amos Mova for that P3 position, but Paulie Hartman not too far behind. Very keen to get that podium spot back after Philip Mueller overtook him with that absolutely monstrous speed down the main straight. Oh man,
this is tense between them. Nobody could relax here.
Where is Pat Cockcroft? Pulled over.
Is that Ponzo with another DT?
Is it actually?
I don't want to. I don't.
No, let's leave him alone. Let's listen. We're all here for just, you know, for fun.
One
right?
OBDA driver to another OBDA driver.
So sad. Not like Duck.
Yep. Not like Duck.
Oh my God, Philip Mueller getting. Oh my God, very like wide Duck. There. Not like Duck.
Hey, he's gonna get a good exit going on to the.
Oh, but you gotta manage those
here,
track cuts. What if he's on 3? He's gotta be very cautious.
Philip's great on track cuts.
You know what's not great on track cuts? The Nissan. It's an understeery piece of crap.
It is. Hey. That's Godzilla on home turf. You need to be careful there.
I guess you get extra top speed here.
Yeah. Plus or minus 10 kg at
that's speed. A lot of kg. That's like how many pounds I'd gain in like a month.
What is the Nissan app for the bop here?
I would press tab right now to see, but oh my God, he's drifting through turn 2
there. Zero. That's zero.
Kg. Yeah, we can thank Jacob Palmieri for that one. Remember he said like a crazy lap time or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, Philip and Thomas seem to be making it work out there. Philip definitely looking a little bit squirrely, definitely trying to put on this pressure. He looks like he's got a lot of pace on Amos right now. But yeah, he's pushing hard to try to get Amos off his game.
Time is ticking down, of course. We only got 6.5 minutes left, which we can see how much time we'll have left when Thomas Olhausen, our current race leader, from start to finish, will cross the line with. So there's not much time left. Maybe 2-3 laps. Maybe. Oh my God!
Oh my
not like
goodness.
Doug. Oh, yeah, that was so close.
Philip's looking for another last-minute podium here. He got that in Valencia, was it, right? Where he got the podium on the second to last lap, I believe it was.
Maybe,
I think that was against Brian Anderson, if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
Yes.
I shouldn't
Turn
start
1.
guessing. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so slightly different situation against Ferrari instead of a Lambo this time. The Lambo's one car ahead. But yeah, I mean, it looks like he's got a lot of pace on him though right now. So
yeah, I mean, His livery doesn't lie. He said that this vehicle makes frequent and sudden stops, so that was quite a sudden stop for the GTR there.
That was. that wasn't the first time he had something like that happen in that hairpin this race. I feel like we've made some quite high-pitched noises a couple times with Philip into the hairpin there.
Exactly. I mean, even through here, the GTR looks a little bit sketchy. Of course, the braking while turning aspect of that car is a little bit tricky to even remotely grasp in the dry. But yeah. So with 5 minutes to go now, Thomas Olhausen did cross the line, heading through Sector 1 now, approaching Dunlop Curve with Brian Anderson falling behind Amos Momo in P3. So starting where he qualified in. We do have, after this, 2 more laps. Or 3 more laps. Maybe 3. Guessing 3. But yeah, not much time here for Mr. Mueller in P4 to get past Amos Momo here. So it's gonna be down to the wire between these 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Super tight. Very different cars. It's a bit of a I almost called it a Ferrari sandwich, but you're supposed to name the sandwich out of the contents inside, right? So it would be a Nissan sandwich here.
I mean, yeah, what would a Big Mac be called? Because you have bread on the outsides and on the inside.
Oh. Shoot.
Not like duck.
Yeah, not like duck indeed.
Oh, shoot. Crud.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, Brian Anderson has really closed up to Thomas Olhausen. So this race for, not just for P3, but for P1 isn't over yet. I mean, I don't think there's been a more entertaining division in SRA than D2 this season. I don't know. These races have gone down to the wire everywhere.
I might be biased because that's the one I'm watching the most intently this season, and I'm not racing. But yeah, I definitely think, I mean, these drivers have been putting on quite a show every single race. But yeah, this one's no exception.
Yeah, look at the Godzilla just, oh my god, just walking away. The gap was only 2 tenths, now it's 5 tenths before we head into turn 1. That's not fair. Come on.
It's just ridiculous out of the turns.
But it closes up so much. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the Lambo is so good on the brakes, right? And if you could, if you're used to that car like Brian, I mean, Brian's great in that car. I mean, yeah, you definitely can take advantage of its strengths, and that is definitely not the strength of the Nissan. It is so tricky in turns like turn 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, which goes to show that Philip Mueller having that purple lap with the 207.4 is just it was an immense lap, especially points wise. Of course, you get one point for the fastest lap, and then Thomas Olhausen having that point for pole position. So at this point in time, of course, the race isn't over yet, but Philip Mueller and Thomas Olhausen taking home a lot of points, getting where they can get where they can get them. But yeah, going back to this fight for P4. Philip Mueller is going to be on the bumper still of Amos Movo. Time ticks down. We're now only 2 minutes to go. The pit window is going to close in just a minute's time. Rafcap gets past Max Diggs. I just saw that in race control into turn 1. I imagine Lexus just having an insane amount of, overspeed on the McLaren. You see Dick Zipburn Jr. in the pits with Pat Cockcroft and Ponzo Bergatoni. So, not a great day for the Porsche boys, for the Rexy guys. God. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Going back to this fight. Philip Mueller running out of time for that last podium spot to belong to his name. His teammate being in P1. Oh my god, that overspeed! Wow,
that overspeed, and he's gonna go for.
He's going for an Amos. No, the collide!
Oh, no! Just the C's part for Paul there. Philip's gonna hold it together. That that car was, I believe, blue flag. Gino's going to get past Movo here, though. They're going to go into the triangle. Man.
Oh, my God. And drama again.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly what you want to see when you're Paul A. Hartman. That is not what you want to see when you're everybody else. But, Movo going side by side. It looks like Gino's not going to fight it going into turn 1 here.
And there's a yellow flag at swing. That's going to be Ravcab in the 906 Lexus, but Amos having back-to-back weeks where he's just struggling. I mean, yes, the move was on there, but you got to do it, right? It's the race is ticking down. It's the chance at a podium.
I don't blame Philip for going for it at all, but we'll have to review that one when I'm assuming gets submitted.
I imagine Amos was not happy with that one.
No, Amos is probably fuming right now, but as is Riley in the YouTube chat. But yeah, man, that definitely, it's not really exactly what you want to see. A position gained. Fortunately, it's not massive. Movo, going from 3rd to 5th. Yeah, that's big. His championship rival did take that 3rd position.
And P2, Brian Anderson's also in it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's definitely big for the championship here, and we're ticking down on the races. But not to take away though from Thomas Olhausen's, almost perfect race. He didn't get fastest lap, but he was just spot on this entire race. Got that pole position, was able to just chill out in P1 and stay there the entire race and get a absolutely fantastic win. And then Brian Anderson with that just absolutely mega undercut from P7 to P2, just huge. And then Paul A. Hartman,
surprise P3.
Surprise P3. He's going to be absolutely pleased with that, I'm sure.
Oh my god!
What in the world? who was that?
It was Ponzo.
That's Ponzo.
I gotta see that. Hold on. The drivers are crossing the line to finish the race after a very eventful race, but man, that was just too funny to not look at. It was just a car flying through the view. Oh my god, I gotta see the driver the interior perspective. Let's see, he's just sending it.
He's just
Jack Doohan style, baby.
Yeah.
He didn't close the DRS going to turn 1.
Yeah.
This fight here for, what is it, P22 between Curtis Lee and Rowdy Burns still not done yet. There's pretty close on track. Rowdy Burns and Mason Moffitt's teammate, of course, having that fight with Ravcab earlier on in the race, and these cars are going to cross the line where they are on track. Sam Serena right behind them, P22. Ravcab following closely, and yeah, Thomas Olhausen taking his reconnaissance lap as he does in VR. He simulates these things. It doesn't break his immersion.
He's all about it. I absolutely love it.
Look at this. And you know what? He keeps the fuel in the car. He keeps enough fuel,
Yeah, that's he's technically slightly nerfing himself for this, but yeah, it's awesome. I love how he does the outlaps.
This is your race winner, Thomas Olhausen, of course, starting from pole position after taking a very commanding pole position. We'll be hearing from him later on this evening, but Thomas Olhausen, after a fantastic race, taking his in lap, soaking in the scenery of a very wet Suzuka. Yep, home race for the Godzilla, home victory for the Godzilla. I imagine those Japanese fans in the crowd very happy with that result. And of course, anyone that is watching for Thomas Olhausen, supporting him in the chat, going to be ecstatic after a fantastic race from him. So congratulations to Thomas. What a race to remember for him. Still a couple more to go in this season, so not over yet. So please stay tuned with us as we head into Brands Hatch. We're going to have a break in between this race and next race. Of course, next week we have US Thanksgiving, so hope all the families will enjoy their time together, whoever you're spending it with. But in the moment right now, Donovan, we have our interviews, and of course we have Thomas Olhausen. We have for P2 Brian Anderson after having that fantastic undercut from P7. Going to be a lot to talk about with these drivers, but we also have our silver driver, silver winner, which should have been Dick Zipburn Jr., but I believe it's going to be Marvin, right?
Yeah, which I don't think he's going to want to hop in for an interview, and I'm not seeing him anyway.
I dragged him a couple of races ago, and he was like, nope, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. yeah, it's fine. But
I'm sad.
We do have Brian Anderson. We've got Thomas Olhausen. We don't have. I don't see.
Paul is going to
Paulie
join the
yet.
cooldown room, I imagine. So I guess we can. We could talk about it.
imagine.
Yeah. Let's talk. Hey, Queso, get your guy in here. Come on. Where he at? Where he at? Where the guy at? Where the guy at? What? I don't know. Anyway, what a fantastic spicy race we had. Obviously, you know,
Yeah.
what races. I mean, Suzuka's not. I don't think it's the greatest track for racing personally. I mean, obviously, it can have a great race, like in terms of racing, but a lot of it is just following.
Just in terms of passes,
It's difficult.
yeah, it is. It is a very hard track to race at, especially in the wet. I think it's easier to make passes and to do, be a little bit more creative and putting on pressure on, your drivers ahead when you're in the dry. In the wet, it's tricky. I mean, we saw that with Philip. I mean, he was trying, almost every trick in the book. It seemed like against Amos there, and ultimately, going side by side through 130R and that turning out how it turned out. We'll see what happens on the penalty sheet later on. With that, but yeah, it was definitely an exciting race.
In the meantime, we're gonna grab Paulie Hartman. I do see him in the cooldown room. So, first of our interviews, Paulie Hartman, after being P5 for the majority of that second stint, surprise P3. I mean, Paulie, talk about that race. It was pretty eventful from start to finish.
So, I'm not happy with that race at all. Started P2, and I threw away a pole lap, whatever. And then started P2, instantly get eaten up by Movo, and stay there. I made an error when pitting, and then I accidentally left my TC down, and I had a little bit of wheel spin onto the back straight, and that caused me to lose the position to Philip. So I feel dumb for even being in that position, but I'm glad things panned out the way that they did. I at least got third. I'm sitting here counting all the points for the championship, and I'm just kind of not pleased with the way that wound up when I could have won that. I could have at least got second place. Hats off to Anderson with the massive undercut, who made that work. But yeah, it's just a bit disappointed. It's I guess there's not many people up here for a P3 that are very disappointed, but today I am. I could have won that. So.
Yeah, I mean, going back to even the start of the season where you haven't had a podium in so long, and just the duality of how the season has gone for you. It's just going from having that first podium super ecstatic to now being disappointed with the P3. Let me tell you, I've been there. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know that feeling as well. So
Couple podiums will change, man.
Suffering from success, as we say, right? But I mean, still, very good result, especially considering what happened at 130R. Obviously, you saw what happened. I mean, it was, I like you said, it was kind of like you felt dumb being there. I mean, I wouldn't call you dumb at all for being there. You were there at the right time, of course, and it was just a quick stroke of luck that it happened, right? And you got past the two guys, of course, fighting for the championship with Amos Bovo and now Brian Anderson in P2. But yeah, we do have a break next week. How are you feeling about the last two races of the season, Paulie?
It's what are the last two? Brands Hatch and Misano.
Yeah.
Which one's night? Is
Brands
Hatch
Hatch.
night?
Yeah.
Okay. I like both of those tracks. I won't say anything more on that. But I like them, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again more for the future. But just know I'm counting every point.
And we're counting every point as well. The championship is getting tighter and tighter as we approach the last half of the season. Not last half, last quarter of the season.
Last quarter.
Yeah, I got my fractions down. Don't worry, I got it. But yeah, I mean, cool as ever. I guess Paulie Hartman back on the podium for it seems like the millionth time this season. But hey, we don't get tired of it, never. So, yeah. Before I send you back, Donovan, any questions for our podium finisher here?
No, just I know it's sometimes in situations like that it's definitely tough, but I mean, you still ran a good race. I mean, you were there to take advantage of, you know, the situation when it came to it. So I think you could still definitely absolutely be very proud of that podium, and it's still great points for the championship.
Yeah, thank you. Before I leave, I do want to give my quick rigmarole of shout outs. Thank you to my parents for watching day in, day out, every week, and continue to support me in my strange hobby. Thank you to Queso for barking in my ear about when to pit, when not to pit, and me not listening to him. And thank you to Cody and everyone at SRA and Champion Motorsports especially, who's been watching me and supporting me on this journey, and for all the congratulations. It really means a lot to me. So thank you guys for following along, and thank you for casting this. It's been a joy watching these back, and you know, it was a bit of a shame last week not being able to say hi to y'all, but
I'm sorry.
yeah, it is what it is. But it's going to happen again. So
yeah, I guess we could talk about that win right now. Why not, right? You made it to the podium here. It's kind of like redemption. So, I mean, dude, first of all, congrats on the first win in SRA from last week. That was awesome to watch. Yeah. But,
yeah. So that win, you know, has been 121 races.
oh my God.
With no wins.
Wow.
I'm the second most driven driver or raced driver in SRA, right behind Josh Damiani. And that was my first win. It was really my first win in sim racing. And it's, you know, I guess it shows a lot more about the people I put around me. I want to be competitive. I want to race against good drivers. I'm not, you know, there to steal any wins. But yeah, it's, you know, it feels absolutely fantastic. I knew going into that I was going to win. There was no questions about it. I was going to win that race. I was the fastest person there by a long shot. It wasn't even close for fastest lap. You know, just a bit unfortunate getting stuck behind Movo and, you know, having to play a little bit of catch up. But, you know, once I kind of locked in a little bit, and after the pit stop, the tires started to wear in good, and hit the hammer and, you know, made it happen. I know you guys saw that pretty crazy pass going up the mountain, and you know, that was really good driving from both of us. Kind of a shame what happened to Movo. He caught a little bit of grass, you know, just before the chicane, and you know, kind of had to lose out in a couple positions. Brian snapped up on one and all that good stuff. But it feels really good, and it's a bit of a shame what happened to the broadcast. But I'm just glad it happened, and you know, thank you to everyone who congratulated me after the race, and for everyone who knew what that meant to me, and how long I've been trying for that. Especially, you know, Doug and Jason. And a bunch of the Champion Motorsports guys all came out to congratulate me. It felt like the hero's welcome there. So it felt good. It felt good, and I want that feeling again, and hopefully we can make that happen.
One more time,
absolutely.
baby.
Well, I am not doubting that it won't happen again. So yeah, I mean, huge congratulations. I mean, on this season so far, it's been an awesome season. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the next two races.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'll let you get the next interviewee in here. It should be Brian. But thank you guys again for casting this, and hopefully I'll see you very soon.
Very soon, in 2 weeks' time, I hope. Right. So yeah. Again, congrats on the podium, Paulie. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, how do I? Okay. I dragged him away, but then he already left on his own. Anyway, that was a bit of a kerfuffle. In the meantime, we're gonna get our P2 finisher Brian Anderson. After, I mean, it's probably the story of the night, right? Apart from Philip and Amos crashing the undercut from P7. So let's get Brian Anderson in here. I hope you can hear us. Brian, are you there?
I am here.
Dude, what an undercut. I mean, P7 and P2, almost a race win. It looked like it was possible for a little bit of time, but it just fell away. Maybe not enough time in the race left to go, but it looked like you had that Lambo at its mercy this race. So talk us through how your night went.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the undercut was going to be really good here based on the practice race. So I knew I was going to pit early. I didn't know how early. I was in that kind of train of like 4 cars, And in all the twisty bits, I could tell that I was faster. And I just decided to pit like quite early, hoping that they wouldn't pit right away. Turns out they didn't. And yeah, that turned out to really, really work, because I think I forget how much I gained per lap after the pit, but it was significant.
It was huge. It was huge.
I'm a little salty. I thought I was going to have the fastest lap because I held it for so long. I thought maybe, and then I think was it Muller who got it in the end?
Yep.
I think it was when he slingshotted past Paule, where he had the slipstream.
I was wondering
if
it was a bit. Yeah, I was wondering if it was a toe involved. I was like, man, that Nissan is so fast. That was the bane of my existence. Honestly, I was gaining in the corners, bane of the Lambo. Honestly,
yeah.
I would gain on Olhausen, and then every time on the straight, it did not matter how close I was, he would gain like 0.3 to 0.5, pull away. So I was like, okay, I know I shouldn't push, just stay close, keep the pressure on, and wait for a mistake. It was my only option, really. He made that one mistake in Spoon, and I tried, like I had a half thought about going for it, but it was just too risky, and I decided to kind of slot in behind. And yeah, I'm really happy with the P2. I mean, Pisa, like when I got that undercut and I realized I was net P2, I was ecstatic. So then I said, just don't do anything crazy, just solid laps to the end, and don't mess it up. And I'm super happy.
Yeah, I mean,
well, especially.
Go ahead, Donovan.
Well, I was just gonna say sorry, especially considering ahead of your championship rivals there. And another thing I wanted to point out is the Nissan had the same trap speed as the Lexus on there. So yeah, you were definitely dealing with basically the worst of it out there.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say the Lambo felt like a dream on this track. I tried it both on the dry and the wet, and I feel like it always feels great at Suzuka. I just love the Sector 1 twisty bits. It's amazing. So I mean, it turns out it drives well too. Got pace, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and of course it brings up some team championship, I guess, concerns, maybe complications. Of course, Thomas Olhausen and Philip Mueller having that very strong qualifying, then you and your teammate Matt Higgs weren't as, maybe not in the desired spot where you guys wanted to be. I know, Brian, you had that pace, especially the car was super fast in Sector 1 in qualifying, pulling that purple Sector 1, but I mean, damage limitation to its finest, right? So you guys really put your best foot forward, and it proved you guys were worthy enough for a better result than where you qualified. So it's going to be really close between the team championship between you and the Nissan guys. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the remaining two races? We got Knight and Brands Hatch.
Paulie finished P3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, P3.
Yep.
Yeah, and so he was P1 before this week. So I think I'm there's a couple of us here fighting. So
yeah, that's for the individual championships, but for also the team championship.
Oh, for the team,
going.
The Nissans are our main competitor in the team. Yeah, for sure. They're, both of them are doing really well, and this time it was Thomas' turn on the win. So we'll see if we can keep it up and keep the pressure on and take it in the end.
Well, season ain't over for sure. So it's going to be exciting to see you guys battle out on track, not just for the team championship for you, Brian, but also for the drivers. So I don't believe you have won the drivers championship yet. I know that you won with the team championship with Damiani a couple seasons back.
Yeah, closest I ever was P2, I think. That was a lot of seasons ago.
Hey, Donovan, just like you.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that P2 position.
Yeah.
P2, baby. Let's go. But yeah, again, Brian, congratulations on the P2. Any shouts before we send you back?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my teammate Matt. He gave me some tips on the TC. I was going to run 4.4. He said he'd been running 2, even down to 1 in race, and it felt good. So a little bit into the race, I turned it down a bit, and I think it unlocked a little bit more pace, and it felt safe enough. So that probably helped a lot. So appreciate that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What ABS did you run? Because I remember making a note on that in the practice race.
I got to thank you for that one. I ran 1.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Hey.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad to help out.
Payback.
Yep. There we go. Pace unlocked.
Yep. Thanks, Anton.
Yeah, of course, I got you, man. Anyway, congratulations on the P2. We're gonna send you back.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night. Well, yep, there you go. Tips from me, I guess. There you go. A quick sponsor message. I do coaching. Here's one ABS in the rain, guys. If you didn't know, it's a lot easier to brake when your ABS is lower. You don't want it to engage. That's how you go off track. So yeah. Now we're gonna bring in our race winner of tonight. It's gonna be Thomas Olhausen. And personally, I'm very excited for this interview because Thomas, my friend, is on my fantasy team. So welcome to the booth, first of all, and second of all, I just love that you do the in laps, man. I think it's so cinematic and so nice. I think it's awesome.
So much fun. It's great.
Well, dude,
I'm so glad
congrats.
to be here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a P1 again after a while for not having P1. I think you had a race win. Did you win a race last season? I think you did, right?
It was Laguna Seca in the variable weather.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
Well,
give
there
me
you go.
water and then I win, please.
There you go. Variable weather, wet weather. Thomas does it all, right? So yeah, dude, congratulations. Commanding quality performance. I gotta say, you're what, 2.5 tenths up on everybody. It kind of like proved how. You had the race pace to begin with. So yeah, talk us through the race. That was quiet. I mean, I want to hear from your side how it went.
The first stint felt really solid. I was just barely eking out a little bit of space between me and P2, and just hoping that it just grew and stayed consistent, because that was the biggest thing is consistency. And I thought I held it really well on the first, and then the last 2 laps before I went to the pits was okay. These tires are dying. I got to get in. The pit went really well. And I don't have any of my stuff turned on, so I saw a car coming, blue flag. I thought on the exit somebody undercut me, and luckily it was somebody who hasn't pit yet. And the big surprise was Anderson right there within a second. It felt like coming out of the pits. Couldn't really get my stint going after the pit stop. I don't know if it just the nerves of having Anderson right there behind me, but held on to it and found my groove, started getting the pace, and built a pretty substantial gap. And then the purple lap was gone, and I said no. I need the hat trick. So I tried real hard for like 5 laps to get the purple lap back, and guess what I did to my tires?
They died. I bet.
They're gone. Just gone. And the last 6 laps were pure murder.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why that gap came down so quick, and there was nothing I could really do to hold on. And luckily I was able to save that spoon incident and keep going. And Anderson was playing really clean there, so I commend him for that.
We'll always love the respectfulness between drivers, and I know Donovan can attest to how difficult the Nissan can be in the wet. But it seemed that you just had the ultimate pace that you had to unlock. Of course, having the tires not play to your advantage, but I mean, as long as you had that straight line speed that the Nissan had, right, it wasn't going to be difficult to get past. Even in the S's, it was difficult. I mean, I saw Brian falling very close in the last couple of laps. So yeah. We see your teammates saying, sorry for stealing your purple lap. At least we kept that point in the team.
Oh,
yeah, I was just going to say.
Is that who took it? Oh,
yeah, it's a teammate.
So I burned through my tires because a teammate had it. Huh? Oh,
unbelievable.
Good it was in the team, though. We got the point still, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, and more on that, actually, because you guys are fighting for the team championship. This is a mega result for you guys. Of course, Brian's team finished P2 and I think it was P8 respectively with Matt Higgs. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it was quite a very good finish. They're keeping you guys honest, and you as well for them. So, excited to see how it wraps up. It's definitely not over yet. I think it's going to be a down-to-the-wire battle heading into Misano. But speaking of the track calendar, how are you feeling heading into the last 2 races of the season? We got Knight Brands Hatch, we got Misano. Expecting similar results, maybe a podium finish or 2. What do you think?
Brands Hatch, I really have no idea where I'm going to be. The Nissan could surprise me and just pull out great pace. And then The one that's gonna definitely upset me is if Misano I don't have good pace there, because that looks like a track built for the Nissan. Valencia, I thought I had the same thing, but it didn't go as well. I mean, it was still good, but it just wasn't. I wanted to be up there in the podium. So. I think it's going to be a very hard fought victory if we get there, or when we get there. Let's stay.
I love the optimism, or rather the what is it? The realism aspect, I guess. You know, everyone's quick here in D2. I think this has been one of the closer match seasons across the SRA divisions at the moment. So, I mean, it's been absolutely awesome commentating. It's been awesome watching it. I imagine from a viewer's perspective, but even from a driver's perspective, it was super close until you put in that blisteringly fast quali lap, and you just kind of blew the doors off everybody there. So. Yeah, I mean, that in itself has got to be one thing to be proud of after tonight. So, Thomas, congratulations for the P1. We saw a couple of shout-outs for you in the chat. Of course, you know, I think it was, I could scroll up. Maybe you recognize the name. We got Sword of Odin, 1219 pole sitter win for real. You recognize that guy? Or?
Wow. I don't. No.
Oh. Well, you got some fans out there in the chat rooting for you, so that's always nice to see.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad I gave him a show this time and held on to it. But yeah, Brian was right there, man. That was close.
I guess in the meantime,
let's see if I can keep it going for the next 2 races.
Yep. In the meantime, Donovan, any questions for our winner?
No, just congratulations. I mean, it was almost that hat trick, and I'm glad the tires held up for Brian's attack later. But yeah, huge congrats there.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any shouts before I send you back?
Just to you guys for putting this on. I'm gonna go watch the stream right now and enjoy the rest of my evening. I was coming into this one very, very tired from 2 days of very long work days, so
well, there you go.
I held together.
Sounds like you know what to do for Brands Hatch. Just be even more tired, and you got it.
There it is. Yeah, you know, it's just I'm gonna pick up some overtime. It's fine.
But now, listen, it's important to get your rest, so go relax. You deserve it. Race winner, once again, Thomas Olhausen, congrats, man.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Discord lagged a bit there as I was sending him back. But yeah, that's going to be the race this evening. You don't see Ethan Marvin anymore, so I don't imagine he was even wanting to do an interview. But yeah, it was a quick shout out to Ethan Marvin. Again, silver race winner of the season. Really sad what happened to Zipburn Jr. I mean, that was incredibly unfortunate. Going back to the driver standings here, we can see that the battle between them was pretty close, at about, you know, separated by 27 points. So it was heating up, especially towards the tail end there. But yeah, it's going to be big points for Ethan Marvin, absolutely.
And one thing to note, there are 2 drop rounds this season. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
we'll see how that shapes up on the website once CCSM updates.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Of course, we did just finish Suzuka. Our next race is going to be in the last month of the year. That's going to be December. So 12 months down, we got 12 more following, with more SRA action to follow in the year of 2026. We're not done yet for Season 16 here in Division 2. I've been your host, Anton Rushevich, of course, who followed with Donovan Colton as my co-partner here. Co-partner, that's a bit redundant, isn't it? But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy being here with Donovan, with the chat. Really enjoy you guys watching the stream. Really enjoy commentating over it. So truly, I guess while we're on the topic of having a break next week, Thanksgiving, I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to stream for you guys. Really thankful to share the booth with Donovan, and really enjoy just being here for everybody. I enjoy the company of SRA. So grateful for the races that we have, and yeah, really enjoy my time here. Donovan, anything from you?
No, just same
but different.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Donovan loves everybody too. I'll speak for him. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, if you enjoyed the stream on YouTube, leave a like. I see a lot of people in the chat, like I said. Really appreciate seeing some new faces around here, and returning ones, of course. Yeah, if you did enjoy the stream on Twitch, leave a follow, subscribe if you've got, you know, a Twitch Prime subscription. It's free for you. really shows us that you guys do enjoy the streams, and it keeps us going. And yeah, we will see you guys in about 2 weeks' time for Brands Hatch. Thank you so much for watching.